Hi, I'm Nick Bonner for treestuff.com, and today we are going to look at some Courant bags. But before you watch, how many bags are we going to look at today? Here we're going to take the cross rope off. This is really cool. You see how it's got these male clips here? Those clip right in here. You probably saw me walk in nice and hands-free. I could have up to 200 feet or more of rope in here because not only does this open at the top and bottom, I've got a helmet in here right now. I don't need that. It opens at the top and bottom, but you can also pull this expansion zipper here. Check this out. It just unwinds, kind of like a snake, and boom, you get another 100 feet of 1/2 inch or 12 millimeter, 11 millimeter-ish rope installed in there. We actually have another bag in here, if you believe that. This is the Courant Faster. This thing is pretty cool. This can be used and worn on a thigh with straps here. It can be worn over the shoulder. Can be clipped to your harness, and all of these are removable and modular, but you're able to strap this to your leg here. You can carry cabling tools in here, pick-off rescue systems, captain hook, an ancillary climbing lanyard. Heck, I mean, you could carry a whole second climbing system in here, 60, 70 feet of rope, easy. This Faster is really cool, but I will tell you the number one reason I want it is just because it's cool. Like, I want to strap stuff to my thigh and kind of like cosplay or something. This is really cool. If you're doing cabling or wearing other, using tools at height, it's really nice. There are also little keepers, so you're required to have all your tools tethered. You can tether those, and there's another one on the inside. Let's take a look at what I have on my back here. This is the Courant Cross Pro XL. This is the big daddy. I really like this bag. Here, let me put it back on. So one thing is, this is a huge bag, okay? This is like a 75-liter bag, and like if you think of like a 75-liter haul bag, they're usually very wide and not nearly as tall as this. But this gives me a much sleeker profile, and honestly, it just feels more comfortable. It's very tight into my body, and I don't feel like I'm being pulled backwards like this by the load. Let's look at some of the features. So we'll start at the top here. This is a helmet carrying system. Not gonna lie to you, I do not use this. I see lots of people use it, they seem to like it. You can just tuck a helmet in here. That was so cool. Did you see how I did that? You can just tuck a helmet in here. You just kind of jam it in there. Doesn't have to be super neat, but that's gonna keep it on there and keep it back out of the way and give you more internal space. On the top here, we've got these really nice compartments. You can use these. These are essentially waterproof for all intents and purposes, but it's like a reinforced kind of plastic mesh. It is transparent, so you could put an emergency document in here. You could put identification. You could put a job spec, all sorts of stuff. You'll see that these are on the top and on the insides of both sides, which I'll show you. I like these especially on the inside for keeping wallets and stuff like that. Looking at the outside of the bag, you see we've got a bunch of lateral straps here, 2 carrying handles, and zippers at the tops and bottoms. Some nice little carabiner attachments. A little accessories or personals pocket here with a little bit of mesh. A vent, so you could store some personals in here, or you could just open this to vent the bag. On this side, this is really cool. This is a hard case, so say you've got a pair of safety glasses, regular glasses, a cell phone, something you want to put inside those in here, that's going to go in, and it goes into the bag lined with felt. Really nice. Say you want to throw a wet jacket, something like that, you got some extra compression straps. And I like that there's handles everywhere. This is really easy to handle. You can see this is a big bag. It's not light, and there's a ton of stuff inside of it. Let's dig into the internal features real quick. So I'm going to go ahead, pop these 3 fast clips. Oh my God, there's more bags in here. Who did this? All right, I'm going to set this aside. Oh my God, there's another bag. I'm going to set this one aside. Let's take a look at the inside. So I showed you these. These are not connected to the outside. This is a totally separate pocket. This for me is where I keep my wallet, keys, very important things, my cell phone, stuff like that. I know it's going to stay dry. I can see it when I look in the bag. It's not flying around. These are little placards, so you can hear that. It's like a hard plastic. You pop these out and they will actually slide in to these little ID slots here. and you can use those to identify the things that you keep inside these pockets. These are separated by snaps, so you can pop these if you want to make one of the compartments larger or convert it all to a single compartment. And then on the inside of the bag, and you know, when you have all your stuff here, you just lay this out, right? And all your stuff is on the ground and you can see it all. These compression straps here are what are going to hold those items in. Say you have the Courant fast rope bag or rope bag light, that's going to fit in here. You've got a lot of internal daisy chaining. This mole here, which is like an elastic, you can hear it snap. This is going to be good. You can like stick a silky saw in here. You could stick a silky saw here. I mean, heck, you could, I think, have one of those like 2-foot big shot sets inside of here if you wanted. Looking over at this side, same thing. You do lose a little space in this smaller pocket to that storage. We saw that on the outside. But this is the Courant Cross Pro XL. This might be the nicest big bag that you can get today. This thing's pretty cool. Let's take a look at its little brother. This is the Courant Cross Pro. So 75 liters, 54 liters. This is a bit more of a manageable size. Personally, I think this is the one that I would choose to carry. I find that when you have a really big bag, you tend to just like load more stuff into it. And one of the nice features about these Courant bags, again, is the ability to keep that rope bag on the outside or keep that extra like rigging equipment on the outside, balance yourself. You know, if you're gonna be carrying like a bunch of blocks and slings and a porter wrap, maybe you put that into the cross bag that I showed you earlier and clip that on, and then you've got weight in front and weight in back. Again, stop you from leaning back. On the outside, this bag has all the same features as the larger version, but it does not have those outside pockets or the hard case. And you see, because it's a little shorter, there is just 2 connections to undo to get inside of it. Nice daisy chaining on the outside. Again, you've got these little hard clips. Not really sure what this is for. I don't know that this is better or different than a daisy chain, but I guess it looks kind of cool. Oh my God, there's more. There are more bags. How many bags do we have? We'll talk about these in a minute. Looking at the inside, you see a scaled down version of the same features that you found on the other bag. Waterproof pockets, snap separatable mesh pockets, the mole, the ID cards, and the internal compression straps. This is a killer bag. If you're going around to comps or you know contract climbers or you know really high-end tree climbers, most of them are carrying something like this in one of the 2 sizes. The Courant premium backpacks or gear bags, the 3 of which we're looking at today, which is the Cross Pro XL, and the Dock, all have the female connection clips. And those are what are going to be to take the male connection clips from the front or chest mounted bags, like the rope bags that we looked at. I really like this bag. It's not as feature filled as the Cross Pro, but not everybody wants to organize their stuff to the nth degree, right? So looking at the outside here, see we've got some outside gear loops. I do not store my stuff on the outside like this. This is not mine. I would have all this stuff on the inside, but we were just using it. So here you can put some stuff in here, but what this is actually for is to catch the end of a larger object. So think silky saw, 2-foot pruner pole, something like that. Slide it in through here. It's gonna go into here. You just tighten this up and keep it. So daisy chaining, gear loops, really nice backpack straps. These look simple, but they are rugged and comfortable. You've got an optional waist belt. And then this is nice. This is like a little tiny thing that you would think of, but you know, it costs more money to make stuff like this. And you add this little non-friction thing, and that stops you from chafing just above your tailbone on your back. Really makes it more comfortable. Looking at the closure here, this is a roll top. Roll tops are known for providing weather resistance and for keeping things really safe and for being very durable. When the items are in here and we're pushing against this, they're not loading a zipper or anything like that. However, you lose quite a bit of space to a roll top. So if you find that you need to add something extra, you've got some outerwear, you're carrying an extra rope, something like that, you can actually roll this up, and then it has a zipper closure, which turns that roll top into capacity. That's pretty sweet. When we look at the inside of this bag, there's not a ton. I'm gonna fold this down. If I can, let's see. So if I fold this down here, I'll show you, Cassie. So you can see inside here, there are a couple daisy chains and another little personals pocket. But then largely all that's really in here are the stays. And these stays are what are gonna hold the bag up. And that's really nice, right? Is that it's gonna stand up on its own, which is gonna make flaking rope into it nice and easy. This is the Courant dock. This is another one of their very premium gear bags. Whose idea was this to put all these bags in? There's so many. All right, let's look at this. This is the Pelican. This is super cool. If you know me, I'm terrible at throw line. So the idea that I might need more than one definitely lands. Look in here, we have 3 throw line systems in this Pelican, and they nest on top of each other and form a stack. What you'll do is you'll use the top one. These are all the same. These are just bigger and bigger. And you can carry, you know, 1 of these, 2 of these, or 3 of these. You've got a spring steel inside of here, so this is not gonna crack or break. You might bend it or deform it, but it's always gonna wanna pop up into this nice shape. It's pretty windy out here today. This does not have a lot of wind shear. It's a little lower than your standard cube would be, but that's gonna make it very, very stable. I always love, Courant does such a nice job with the branding. This is so cool. On the inside here, we have 2 really clearly labeled pouches for throw weights. So you have your up weight and your down weight, as well as keeper places to attach the end of your line or attach a micro carabiner to capture the middle of the line. So this is the Courant Pelican. This thing is pretty sweet. I think if I was buying a set of these, I would be looking at the small one and the large one. 3 throw lines feels like a little too much to me. Maybe that's perfect for you. But I think I would go with the small one and the large one. Maybe even potentially just put the small one inside of the large one, just so I didn't have multiple things flying around. But if you're an arborist, it's clear to me and clear to you that you need to carry a lot of stuff. You want to do so effectively. You want to be able to find it. You want to be able to reference where it is for other workers. You don't want to come down out of the tree to get something out of your bag. The Courant organizational systems help you do that. They also help you look cool, which is pretty important in being an arborist. So definitely check out any of these bags. Like I said, I think this is like the one, the Cross Pro in the 54 liters. This comes in a couple different colors, but we have all of this stuff on treestuff.com and you can check it out. And I just want to say thanks to the entire team here in Angers, France at Courant for bringing us out here and teaching us about all these products and letting us make these videos with them. So hope you enjoyed this and we'll see you out there. Stay safe.